Welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. If you love stories of courage and mystery, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community.
Marcus Chen had stood in war zones where planets burned and stars vanished behind weapons fire. Yet nothing made his hands shake like standing in the crystal hall of the Valyrian throne. The chamber was carved from living light. Every surface reflected power, conquest, and centuries of victory. At the center, upon a fractured throne of refracted crystal, sat a dying king. Felvar of Valoris. Once, this being had commanded fleets that erased civilizations. Now his breath came in shallow, glass-thin wheezes. "Human commander," the king said, his voice echoing weakly through the chamber. "You stood between me and death at the Crimson Nebula." Marcus kept his spine straight. "We stood together, Your Majesty." A faint smile crossed the king's translucent face. "By our law, a life saved demands repayment." Marcus already didn't like where this was going. "I leave you my greatest failure." The air shifted. Massive doors burst apart as something ran into the chamber. Guards scattered. Claws scraped crystal. A creature larger than any Terran wolf landed with bone-shaking force. Midnight dark fur swallowed the light around it. 6 glowing eyes scanned the room like weapons locking onto targets. Its jaws opened. "Wow," it said in flawless English. "You people still decorate like insecure tyrants." Every weapon in the room aimed at it. Marcus blinked. "It talks." "I do more than talk," the beast replied lazily, dropping to the floor like it owned the place. "I insult, observe, and judge poor life choices." "You must be the human." Felvar coughed violently. "This," the king whispered, "is Vexenor of Fenrix. His species refused to kneel. We slaughtered their world. I kept him as proof of dominance." Vexenor's eyes never left Marcus. "Say prisoner," he muttered. "It's faster." The king's voice trembled. "I tried to break him, I failed. I tried to forget what we did, I failed again." The chamber was silent. Then Felvar turned his fading gaze to Marcus. "You were the only one who ever asked if our war was just." Marcus swallowed. "You questioned victory itself." The king's breath shuddered. "Take him, give him what I never could." Felvar died with his hand outstretched. 3 days later, Marcus sat aboard a transport bound for Earth, sharing space with a 5-ton apex predator stretched across the floor. "So," Vexenor said, tail flicking. "Chains, research labs." "Zoo," Marcus stared out at the stars. "The king said to give you freedom." Vexenor froze. "Freedom," Marcus repeated. "You can leave, disappear, do whatever you want." All 6 eyes widened. 3 centuries of rage, planning, and survival, and no cage. No command. No leash. Vexenor let out a low sound, halfway between laughter and thunder. "Well," he said finally, "that ruins every revenge plan I had." He leaned closer. "I think I'll stay." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "Why?" "Because your species defeats empires without conquering them," Vexenor said. "And someone has to stop you humans from accidentally blowing up the galaxy." A pause. "Also, I researched Earth food. You invented something called pizza." Marcus smiled for the first time in years. "Welcome to Earth." Looking at the monster beside him, Marcus realized something important. Humanity's greatest weapon was never firepower. It was mercy.